I asked ChatGPT to build me a watercolor palette with all my requirements, and honestly, the results surprised me more than I expected. What if I told you could narrow down a great watercolor palette, especially designed for you with all your requirements without hours of research? I know it sounds impossible, but I did it. I know it is overwhelming to see color charts from so many different brands, comparing different brands, and really building that perfect palette which works for you. It can be a lot of work. Today, I'm going to show you how I used AI to build me that perfect palette without compromising on your experience or personal preferences. Hi, I'm Kanchan Kaul. I'm a self taught watercolor artist, illustrator, and an art educator. I also have a small creative business where I design and sell watercolor brushes and paper that pair perfectly for my style of painting. And over the years, you better have tried a lot of different paints, so I know what works. So let's dive in. Okay, to keep things simple, I'm going to start with just one brand, and this is going to be Winsor& Newton. So if you go to their website, they have their resources, and you can just Google it for other brands. They all have color charts available. So here in resources, I can see Explore Color Charts, and they have the professional watercolors and the Cotman watercolors. I think I'm going to go with the Cotman watercolors. It's pretty good for beginners, and I don't see the need myself to go to professional colors, which are much more expensive. So you can see this Cotman chart is available. In this case, the Cotman chart has images as well for the colors and some details regarding the pigment. So what I'm going to do is download it and see if this works. And here I'll update. So let's see if ChatGPT is able to read this color chart. Yes, I can read it. And it's a Winsor & Newton cotton watercolor chart, and it's pretty clear once you know the coding works. So it's giving you the details about color names, permanence, light fastness, behavior codes, etc., like staining and granulating. Okay, great. The other option is if you don't have a color chart available, you can ask ChatGPT to read a website. So, for example, in this, I'm going to ask if they are going to be able to read this website. So if some of the brands are showing their color charts on a website instead of a downloadable, I think that should work as well. So let's ask ChatGPT, can you read this page and color chart for Cotman color? Yes, I read the Cotman watercolor chart. So you have two options. One is a PDF file which you can download, upload, or if it's not a PDF file, you can always go to a website link as well, and ChatGPT is able to read it. So next, what I'm going to do is prompt it from this list. So I'm going to choose the website itself, and I'm going to prompt it for it to create a palette for me. So I'm saying help me choose a cool red, cool yellow, cool blue, and a warm tone of the primary colors as well. I'm giving my preference. I prefer single pigments and non-staining because I think these properties are important from me. If you want to know more about these properties, I'll have another video later so you understand the properties and you can give your own prompts better. And then I have another criteria, but if it is not available, these non-staining and single pigments, you can suggest an alternative as well. So if they are not able to find something which is in that constraint, they can be flexible. And it has suggested me a few cool yellows, a few warm yellows, and it is also giving me all the details about their properties. Start with the yellows, the suggestions that ChatGPT has given me, and I agree with these two colors. I do always have them on my palette, so I am really happy that ChatGPT has suggested these two colors, and they are both single pigment, and they have low to moderate staining. This one actually is non-staining, and I always have a yellow ochre on my palette. So over the years, I have learned what I want, but I wanted to see if ChatGPT is able to tell me what I want as a botanical artist when I give them the prompt. So next, let's see what they say about cool blue and warm blue. Honestly, I don't use blues too much on my palette because I don't mix colors. It is necessary if you're mixing purples, but I feel purples when mixed with watercolors, they tend to be a little bit dull. and I like my purples to be bright, so I generally just buy purples. But let's see what they suggest for blue. They're saying for a cool blue, a cerulean blue hue. An alternative is cobalt blue. I usually have cobalt blue. It is saying it is low staining, but it's closer to neutral and not truly cool. So I usually don't keep cerulean blue on my palette, and I'm very happy to see the alternative cobalt blue is also suggested for cool blue. And for a warm blue, they're saying ultramarine, which is always on my palette. I always have a ultramarine on my palette, and I'm happy it matches my criteria as well. Next one is cool red and warm red. So for cool red, it is saying alizarin crimson hue. I usually don't have this, so it is something new that they have suggested, and I would love to try it out. Non-staining alternative is light red or Indian red. I usually don't have either of these reds on my palette, and I am surprised to have this suggestion. The warm red that it is suggested is light red. And again, this is different from what I usually have on my palette, and it has also suggested a cadmium red pale hue. So, in summary, it is giving me these paint suggestions. I agree with the yellows and the blues, but the reds are quite new to me and they are not usually something that I would have on my palette. But I want to give them a try and see if they really work for me. So I want to enhance this palette a bit more because for botanical artists, they will need pinks and purples and greens on their palette. So I'm going to give this prompt. Can you enhance this palette to add pinks, purples, and greens in warm and cool tones? And let's see what ChatGPT gives us. It's saying I'm assuming that I'm adding to this six color based on what you already have and not replacing it. So I'll let it go with that assumption. The base palette recap they are giving me is lemon yellow ochre, alizarin crimson hue, light red, cerulean blue, and ultramarine. And for pinks, they are saying for a permanent rose. So now I'm getting closer to the palette that I actually have. I do have a permanent rose which gets used a lot, especially even for red flowers. Unless the flower is like really deep blackish red, I prefer permanent rose for red. And it's saying it is the brightest cool pink and moderate staining. And then for a warm pink, it's saying rosemary hue. So now we are getting even closer to what I have. Usually I would mix rosemary hue with permanent rose, and I never used the two reds that they had actually suggested. So I'm very pleasantly surprised to have those two new colors added to my palette. For purples, they are saying dioxine violet, which I already have as well. And then for a warm purple, they're saying more controllable than dioxine and easier for beginners, it's saying, but it has not suggested an alternative purple as well. Let's see. And for greens, it is suggesting a viridian hue, which I never ever use usually. And it has suggested me a sap green for warm green because I use sap green a lot. If I want that green to get a bit darker, I do mix it indigo with it or a Payne's gray. So these are the kind of colors I would usually actually have. They also have an optional hooker's green. Again, I don't use hooker's green at all. I don't gravitate towards these brighter greens. So I'm usually more of a sap green, darker green, duller greens when I'm coming to painting leaves actually. So it's giving me that enhanced palette with all the yellows, reds, and pinks, blues and purples, and the greens. I think if you're absolutely new to watercolors and you don't know where to get started from, this is a very good palette suggestion to get started for botanical art because the ones which you get which are ready made misses out on the purples and pinks, I feel, and then you have that experience of not being able to mix bright purples and pinks, and then you think something's wrong with you, which is not true. I think ChatGPT did a pretty great job at finding the pigments which were perfect for me and sticking to my constraints. I think you can use this for many different brands together. What I would suggest is getting the color charts from different brands, especially if you're curating a professional palette and not the student grade cotton paints that I just showed you. Some of them have better pink mixes, some of them have better purple mixes. So you do want to have a palette which has paints from different brands. And it can get a little bit overwhelming to see color charts from all the different brands. I've done it once for myself, and you bet it was. I had a huge Excel sheet with all the data to finally pick the paints that I really wanted on my palette. So you can get those color charts from different brands that you like. Shinhan, Schmink, Daniel Smith, and feed it to Chat GPT and ask it to pick paints within your constraints. I think it does a pretty good job to pick a starting point for you instead of you going through all the color charts. The second thing that I found interesting was it suggested some paints which I have never used, like a warm red. It suggested light red, which is more earthy. I've never really used it. I don't know how it will work for botanical art, especially if I'm wanting to paint red flowers. I think light red would be a bit dull. It might work for landscapes, but I'm going to give it a try and see how it looks. But overall, I think AI did a pretty solid job. It is a great starting point. Give it a go. But one thing to note, I feel every time I asked the same question, I created a new chat, fed the same amount of data, and asked the same question, it gave me a little different answers every time. It wasn't very different, but it was a bit different. Don't believe it 100%. Use your own judgment as well. But it is a great starting point for sure. If you want to know a little bit more about the properties that I have given as constraints, then let me know in the comment below and I'll create a separate video for that. Thanks for watching.